URC final round, folks, and you did it. Connacht, you did it. You needed a miracle run to end your season to get yourselves into the top 8, but you bloody well did it. Final round, 26-5, win over Edinburgh, sees Connacht safely into the playoffs. We're probably going to have to talk about the other results of today's games, so if you don't want spoilers for them, you're forewarned. But Connacht, 26-5, bonus point win, and other results happening the way they did mean they are securely into playoff rugby. I am absolutely chuffed for these guys because honestly, their late season form has been quite incredible. Lancaster's work with the team, it was a hard road early, but they've done it. I don't mean to ignore you, Edinburgh, because you guys had a lot of ball and a lot of drop ball, a lot of missed chances. You couldn't quite crack the Connacht nut. Better luck next year for Edinburgh. Honestly, this story is all about Connacht. We'll go through some of the key events and the stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. It was kind of a scrappy first 10 minutes. There were a few knock-ons and misplaced passes. Both sides, I feel like, will feel a bit disappointed with their missed chances, but the storyline of this game is Edinburgh would continue to miss those chances throughout the game. A big part of that has to go down to Connacht's defence, but Connacht, when they got down the other end, were just so much more clinical. It's sometimes one of those brutal ones. Like punch, 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 nothing really landed, and then the opponent just wham! Knockout. It was very much like that. Edinburgh got a scrum penalty on 15 minutes, went deep down Connacht's end, they got a maul, they got advantage, they went again, they lose the ball forward. Connacht kind of escape, Connacht survive more relentless Edinburgh waves of attack. They get in penalties, like conceded warning, like you're going to get carded if you guys keep conceding so many penalties down the red zone. How do they reply to that warning? Length of the field try. Josh Ioane is the man to finish it, but it's Jansen with the big carry at the offload, Bolton with the line break and the gas out of their own 22. Josh Ioane finishes it with a really nice fend. Missed conversion, but 5 points to 0. You've got to love it because they've just been under the pump. And first chance they really get, barring an early chance in the first kind of 10, they absolutely take it. So 5 points to 0. Edinburgh had another chance not too long later when Connacht kind of tried to bravely or maybe foolishly run it out of their own 22. They didn't put boot to ball. They had a chance, Edinburgh. They were camped down that end. They got another scrum penalty, but they couldn't answer it. Knockton with a really nice intercept. He'd come on due to an early injury for Connacht. And then 35 minutes, Connacht, when they finally had a rare bit of territory down the Edinburgh end. It started with Bolton again. Nice run down from the left wing from him. Hurley Langdon was able to dive over and score. They had to TMO it to make sure he'd not dived over the ruck, but dived kind of to the side of the ruck. So he's diving to score, not diving to avoid a tackle, I guess. So, yeah, try time. 12 points to 0. Connacht, like they haven't had that much ball. But when they've got those chances, they have absolutely taken them. And then before half-time, they got a third for a 5-metre tap. The actual half-time territory and possession numbers kind of even out because Connacht in the final 10 just camped down Edinburgh's end. But after a couple of Edinburgh penalties conceded, load of phases, we get Hurley Langdon with another one. And it's a weird one. I don't even know who scored it because it was just a bunch of bodies. The ref waited for ages for everyone to get up and was just like, oh, yep, there's the ball grounded. Don't need the TMO. Let's just go. So she made a bold call. I would have thought maybe have a look. It's one of those ones where the TMO is probably not going to have a better angle than the ref anyway, but it didn't seem like from her reaction that she'd seen it initially grounded. It looked like she'd seen it post-grounded, but I don't know. Either way, she gave the try. So it was 19 points to 0 at halftime. Connacht absolutely in the box seat. And you're tentatively watching the Cardiff Stormers result and the Ulster-Glasgow result, because if either Cardiff or Ulster lose, Connacht is going to leapfrog them and be secure into their playoff spot. Halftime stats, you got 22 entries, 5 by Edinburgh, 4 by Connacht, and yet it is 19-0. That is the difference. 3 tries to zip. They took their chances. Clean breaks is 6-5 to Connacht turnovers conceded as 10-5 against Edinburgh. So Edinburgh just coughing up too much ball. The possession and territory is still with Edinburgh, but as I said, it evened out throughout the final 10. And then the second half, there's so much Edinburgh possession and territory. But do you think they could score? Not really. I mean, they did get one at the end when Duhan van der Merwe had a big break from his own 22 and Ashman got it on the support line. But Connacht had scored before that as well. Kind of against the run of players, the way the commentators put it. And it's probably, to be fair, because it's just Edinburgh, wave after wave, loose pass, Divine from the bench, hacks through, gets the perfect bounce. The young scrum half, actually don't know how old he is. The wee scrum half, he's quick. And 26-0 bonus point try. At that point, the game is well in the bag. 26-0 for Connacht. And you're honestly just looking at what's happening with Ulster. Because Cardiff, as I've said, I'm going to spoil the other results here. Cardiff was pretty comfortably in front over the Stormers. I haven't seen that game, but I was following the score. And Ulster and Glasgow were kind of chopping and changing with the lead. Ulster were a point in front with like 10 to go. But yeah, Ulster conceding a late try means Connacht leapfrog them despite Edinburgh's late score. Get themselves into the playoffs. It is an incredible run. It is one of the best runs for a playoff spot that I think I've ever seen. And that included a win down in South Africa, without which this doesn't happen. Incredible. Amazing turnaround from Connacht. Possession finishes 63-37 in this game to Edinburgh. Territory 57-43, so all Edinburgh in that regard. Line breaks is 8 each, but turnovers conceded 19-14, so Edinburgh a bit too much coughed up ball. Like I said, the penalty count's 13-4 against Connacht. But yeah, they made the tackles, they forced the turnovers, they forced the errors, and then when they got their chances, they took them. I still stand by the fact that no one's going to want to play Connacht. Connacht's going to be travelling somewhere, maybe Glasgow, maybe Dublin, who knows, but you don't want to mess with Connacht right now. Darcy Graham, 3 clean breaks. He was looking lively. Duhan busted 12 tackles, but also was a part in a fair few turnovers conceded from an Edinburgh perspective. Hurley Langdon, 21 tackles, couple of tries. Bolton, 79 metres. He is electric. Massive, massive result. If I'm not mistaken, we still need to see what happens with the Munster Lions game to decide 8th spot. Ulster will be kind of hanging on that result, depending on what happens. So I think one of the Irish teams, either Munster or Ulster, is going to miss the 8. But yeah, Connacht is going to be there, and I, for one, am absolutely chuffed with them, even if they go out in the next round. It's been a hell of a run, but like I said, if there's a team which is going to get an away win in the playoffs, Connacht are a decent bet. You guys let us know your thoughts on the match. Subscribe. Take care. Talk to you guys again soon. See you later.